Good afternoon, everyone. Guys, so who is in charge of the United Kingdom? Because you could speculate that it is certainly not Keir Starmer. I just watched him on Prime Minister's PMQs, Prime Minister's questions, sorry, PMQs. The word disgraceful, inadequate, inept, and the word, all come to mind when I see him. And I actually saw Rishi Sunak performing quite well. But guys, let's not look at the pantomime that is Westminster. Let's think about what's really happening on the streets. Before I get into that, guys, yesterday I saw a clip of what's his name. I want to say Les, but I think it's Lee. Lee Anderson. I think his first name may be wrong. I think it's Lee Anderson, the Reform MP. He asked the Angela Rayner what Islamophobia was, because, the Labour Party, they're pounding money into, fighting Islamophobia and making sure Islamophobia is eradicated and the Muslim community feels safe and content and their mosques are protected. And, they're giving lots more money to community police officers to protect these areas and make sure Islamophobia is stamped out at the bud. Then Lee Anderson, he asked her, okay, that's fine. What is Islamophobia? And guys, honestly, I had to check that this wasn't an AI. You know those AI skits that are going around, because we don't know what we're seeing now. I had to check several different sources, but no, it was right what she said. She could not answer what Islamophobia was, and she went on and she said, we're gonna get a new definition of that to make sure that it encompasses. And I just kind of went to sleep. So on the one hand, Labour are telling us they need to fight Islamophobia, they need to stamp it out, they need to do X, Y, and Z, we need to protect this, we need to stop this because of Islamophobia. And then when asked what Islamophobia is, she said, I don't know. Guys, honestly, people with half a brain cell are watching this. We sat there watching this at home and thinking, what is happening to this country? Where are can you remember, guys, if you go back online on this platform, in fact, I'll put you a few links in the description. Look at Margaret Thatcher when she gets up there and somebody asks her a question, how she articulates herself. And do you know what? I wouldn't be able to argue with Margaret Thatcher. Even if she was telling me my t-shirt was bright blue, I'd be like, do you know what it is? Yeah, that's a bright, yeah. Do you know what? I'm actually wrong. This is a bright blue t-shirt. But, these are the farcical people that we've elected. And then we've got today the spat between Keir Starmer and Rishi Sunak. Isn't it strange? And, I'm sure I'm not the only person. In fact, I know for a fact I'm not the only person who said this. But there's so many videos going around about, Keir Starmer saying he's not going to stop the, Keir Starmer saying, are the Tories going to cut the fuel allowance, the winter fuel allowance? Are they going to do this? And then, Keir Starmer gets in there and he's like, yeah, we're going to cut that. Absolutely insane. So Rishi Sunak's point, I'll put the links in the description here, guys. So Starmer says Tories will be out of office for a very long time if they pretend everything is fine with the economy. Sunak says a train driver on £65,000 a year will get a pay rise of almost £10,000. Guys, I can't believe this is the case. It's absolutely insane. What about the military? What about the people in our military who are doing a brilliant job, who are doing, absolutely amazing things for young men? They're doing absolutely amazing things for the community. They're doing absolutely amazing things for the country. Where's their pay rise? We'll get a pay rise of almost 10,000. In fact, I'll not share it with you guys. £10,000. But a pensioner on £13,000 a year will lose money. Why? And then Starmer says, at the election, he did not pretend everything is fine. If the Tories carry on pretending that everything is fine, they won't be on the opposition benches for very long. And I just find it absolutely fascinating that in the United Kingdom, we have had this total switch and reverse. It seems like now the Tory party are the party for. Do you know what, guys? Do you know what? No, we've not. We've got a mono party at the moment, and whereby everybody's saying the same. Nobody's trusted, And you can't believe a thing these people say. When I was in the military, one thing that's very apparent is you need to have trust from your men. So you do that by leading from the front, leading by example, and not lying. Don't lie. Lies always get caught out. People see through lies. People are not stupid. So in the context, right, you've got to go and tell your guys some bad news. Don't pussyfoot around it. Tell them the problem. Be straight with them and be upfront. The problem now is we've seen, what's the right word I'm looking for? The vast levels of incompetence from the Labour Party. They've only been here 60 days. We've seen it in such a case that it's just like a joke now. People are going into self-preservation mode. Like for those of you who've been following the channel for a while, in my social sphere, in fact, I'm going to try and get him on here, Robert. I'm going to try and get him on, and we're going to kind of do like a little podcast thing. He's been saying he's been called in at work, and they've told him, they've been saying, we're looking like, we may have to make, we said we may have to make cuts after this budget. Now, there's going to be a lot of people out there who are worried, who are anxious. There's going to be a lot of people who know that this is coming. They're going to be looking at their boss. They're going to be looking at where they work, and they're going to be thinking, these guys are not making enough money to be able to keep me on. And then all this is going to come round about Christmas time. Guys, it's going to be absolutely catastrophic. So people now, we're not looking at the government anymore. We're not looking at, at our illustrious leaders. I think we've just accepted they take our money and do what they want with it. That's kind of the reality of it. And that's kind of socialism, if you ever want to see it. Guys, I've got 2 books upstairs. I was going to bring them and show you. I've got one Communist Manifesto, and I've got one Animal Farm by George Orwell. I suggest everybody read them both. Read the Communist Manifesto first, read the Communist Manifesto first, and then read George Orwell's Animal Farm afterwards. Guys, 2 brilliant books. In fact, I'll put links to them at the end, wherever you want to get them from. But, it's absolutely insane. And people have now gone into self-preservation mode. People have gone into, right, okay, this is coming. I need to protect myself and my family. Nobody cares anymore. We just, people are just past caring. I think I saw a statistic that this election was the lowest turnout for voters that there's ever been. I always vote, guys. I went into the voting office. I looked at my polling card. There was nobody I could vote for. I looked, so I drew male reproductive organ on the ballot paper and I posted it, guys. That's what I did, because I will always turn up for the election. Now, that's the state of things at the moment. Now, this was I think it was one of the lowest ever turnouts for voters, and Keir Starmer, he won. But the amount of people in the country that voted for him, it's less than 20%. Now, we've got a prime minister who's running the country with less than 20% of the people voting for him. How is that democracy? How is that a democratic process? I can pretty much guarantee if there was an election now, Keir Starmer would not win. He's been, guys, and when he got elected, on the 4th of July, I think it was, when he got elected, I said, right, do you know what? I'm going to stop being negative about the government. I'm going to try and be as positive as I can. I'm going to be as positive as I can for the United Kingdom, for Great Britain, because I do see a lot of positivity, in the United Kingdom. I mean, guys, come on. We've just found this oil in Antarctica. The United Kingdom could be the richest country on the planet without exception. But are we going to do that? Are we going to go down there and take that oil? Probably not. We'll probably lose the Falklands to the Argentinians, probably sell our share in Antarctica. Some people in the banking system will get rich, and the rest of us will all be, we'll all be scrambling for our winter fuel payments. Absolute insanity, guys, at the moment. I really don't know. In fact, let me, guys, if you've not been following this channel, I want to show you something real quick. Let me just do this. So one of the things I always, guys, I know I've got some recent, quite a lot of recent followers, and one of the things I identified is the, where is it? Oh, I can't find it. Right, the conflict potential in the Falklands, because whoever controls the Falklands controls Antarctica. Hang on. So yeah, so whoever controls the Falkland Islands controls Antarctica. Now, the reason that's important is, right, let me get this up. The reason that's important is because of the huge amounts of natural resources that are down there. Now, let me just share this real quick with you. Where are we? It's like 1/8 of Antarctica or something. Right, so this bit here is the British Antarctic territory. That's the Falklands there, and that's Argentina. Now, whoever controls the Falklands by de facto controls this part of Antarctica. Now, a Russian oil survey, I'll put the links in the description. A Russian oil survey went in there and they found almost twice as much oil around here somewhere. They've not really communicated where it is, but they found twice as much oil in this area, almost twice as much oil, sorry, than Saudi Arabia have. Now, that is a huge amount of oil, and it's all, you know, the Britain has a claim to it because we have this little island here. Now, when you think about the financial benefit of taking the Falklands, because you would then control this area, you control that oil. Not only would you control the oil, this peninsula here, this peninsula is the only place where it's not the only place, but it's the best place to land a ship. Because all around here, you know, you've got sheet ice. It's not, you know, it's not very forgiving for ships. But here, you know, it's relatively easy to get ships in. And the Falklands controls that. So what I think would happen, and I think this is going to happen in the near future, the Falklands is going to become a gas oil separation plant. We're going to take the oil from here, take the oil to the Falklands, and then go sell it wherever. But, you know, we have that, you know, we have the capability right now. We have the finances in the, you know, in the context of oil to become a really rich country so that children are not in poverty. We don't have people sleeping on the streets. We don't have to, you know, we don't have our old people having to struggle because, guys, you know, it's our old people. It's our nans and granddads. It's our elderly people who built this country. And we have a moral obligation to look after them. As we do, we have a moral obligation to look after our children as well. Anyway, guys, that's it. I'm going to mag to grid. I didn't mean to go on to an Antarctica segue, but it is one of the places I think is a conflict hotspot. I do think it'll flare up at some point. Anyway, guys, I'm going to mag to grid, and I'll see you guys later.